In this lecture, we are going to explore the project scaffolded by the Vite package. Before getting started, you should point your editor to the directory created by the package. It'll be easier to inspect and run commands from this directory. Pause the video if you need. Once you've got that sorted, let's begin. In the root directory of the project, there are a few files. The most important file is the index.html file. This file is considered the entry point of our application. What is an entry point? The entry point refers to the file responsible for launching an application. The entry file can import other files from images to JavaScript files. This step is important to highlight. If the entry file does not import other files, it's possible that they may not get bundled with our project. If we look closely at the HTML file, two files are being imported. They're the favicon and script files. However, our CSS file is nowhere in sight. In the project, a basic CSS file was created. Despite not being imported from the main HTML file, it will get bundled with our project. To find out why, open the main.js file. The very first line of code in this file is an import statement for the CSS file. Typically, import statements for CSS files are not supported. The JavaScript language does not allow this behavior. By using Vite, CSS imports are allowed from within a JavaScript file. During the bundle phase, the CSS will be extracted into a separate file. The CSS will not be embedded into our script file. We do not need to worry about bloat. Not all dependencies need to be imported into the entry file. Since the script file is imported into the HTML file, our script is allowed to import additional files. There isn't a limit as to how many files can be imported. Let's try running our project. Open the package file. Overall, the package is very simple. There's nothing abnormal about it other than the script's object. From the beginning, we're given 3 commands for running our project. The first command is called dev. This command will launch a server for development. You may not want to constantly manually build your project. The dev command will force the server to watch your files for changes. If a file changes, the build will reflect those changes. The process is completely automated. Let's give it a try. Open the command line. I recommend moving the command line into a separate tab. I find it easier to read the command line as a tab as opposed to a separate panel. You can drag and drop the terminal by its name. After moving the terminal, let's run the npm run dev command. After a few moments, the package will create a temporary server for viewing our application. Let's visit this URL in our browsers. Voila! We've got a fully functional development environment. We can start working on our project. As we do so, the package will refresh the page during updates. Let's head back to the command line to explore the other commands. The next command in the package file is called build. Unlike the dev command, the build command will build our project once. If we look in our project's directory, nothing has changed. What if we want to grab the final bundle? The build command will output the files for us. Let's give it a try. Back in the command line, you may need to exit the current command. By launching the server, Vite does not allow us to run additional commands. In the command line, run the npm run build command. In a few moments, the command will produce a bundle in a directory called distribution. We can check out this folder for the final output. These files can be uploaded to a server for production. You do not need to include files outside of this directory. As I mentioned before, only files imported directly or indirectly from the entry point file will be included. In the assets directory, we will find the CSS file. What if we removed the import statement for this file? Let's find out. In the main.js file, remove the import statement. Next, run the npm run build command. If we look at the distribution/assets directory, the CSS file is missing. Since our app is not importing CSS, this file is not included with the bundle. Before uploading our project to production, we may want to verify that the app is fully functional. However, we can't because the server is not running. In the command line, we can run the npm run preview command to launch the server for the distribution directory. The preview and dev commands are similar. There's one huge difference. The preview command does not watch our files for changes. The purpose of the preview command is to launch a server for the build directory. It allows us to quickly inspect the final build. The dev command is for the development phase of a project. Now that we have an overview of our project, let's start exploring some of the features of other tools. Along the way, we'll learn more about Vite. When you're ready, I'll see you in the following lecture.